Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to this week's Sofamanager Scottish Football Podcast. We're a little bit later this week, so we thought we'd maybe go for some more in-depth, more kind of broad stories. We thought last week's football would be done and dusted, but the news has kept going through the week, so this week we'll be discussing a bit of the red card saga that continues on from last weekend's games. We're also going to be looking at Celtic's 5-0 victory over Astana in midweek, just to let you know, by the way, John's shown me his brand new red iPhone to illustrate the red card.
Send off.
We're also going to be talking a little bit about the power that players have over teams these days. Seems to be coming up a lot. We're going to be talking about new stadium developments for the SPFL teams and what makes an actual atmospheric stadium. And Darren's going to be giving us some of his La Liga predictions. So I guess I should introduce my hosts as well. Darren, of course, doing his La Liga predictions. How are you this week, Darren?
Oh, Paul, yes, I'm good, thanks.
Good to have you back on after a few weeks off. How was your time in
Malaga?
Not Malaga. Oh no, we'll get to that. we'll get to that later. Good time then.
Yeah, brilliant. Really enjoyed it.
Plenty of talent to scout out there.
Oh yes.
You need to get yourself a wee permanent post. And of course it's John Brown. Hello, John.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Not too bad.
Visit to the Toon at the weekend. How
was
that?
Aye.
A customary spoons trip at the Galway gate end, or should they not just install one in the back of the stand?
That long chair.
Enjoy that very much. And of course myself, Paul, petrified about starting work next week. So let's crack on. So our first topic this week, and I guess, John, you'll lead the way on this because you were the only one that actually watched it.
Hooray.
Finally, the Champions League qualifiers back on an actual place that's relatively easy to watch, BT Sport.
Mm-hmm.
And Celtic, how would you describe it? How did they do against Astana, I guess, John?
Well, brushed them aside.
No.
No, really, yeah.
There's a really bad BBC quote of like them crushing them or something like that. I'll find it on Instagram soon, but it's absolutely cringeworthy.
Is it?
So
I wouldn't go that far. They did well, but
yeah, but they didn't do this well against them last time when they played them a few years back. I think they took them on a away victory or something to actually.
They took two penalties. I think one was in the 94th minute.
Yeah,
they got them through the tie, but
definitely a close tie, wasn't it?
It was, but this time round, after the second goal, maybe even the third, Astana completely gave up. It was quite embarrassing, actually.
I thought the Astana keeper was pretty amateur.
He was honking. But no, I mean, all in all, Celtic's sort of build-up play, their performance was just so far on top.
I'll let Liam McLeod of BBC Sports Scotland sum it up by saying, Celtic have gone through Astana like a blowtorch through butter.
Wow.
Not a classic there, Liam. I don't expect that one to live through the ages, but
You keep that one in mind.
Yeah. A few interesting stats came out of the game as well, didn't they, Darren?
Yes, aye. So we had 5 goals from 3 shots on target.
3 shots on target. To be fair, having watched the highlights back, I don't understand how that entirely works out, because there was one own goal. Was there 2 own goals?
Went down as 2 own goals, yeah.
Kind of.
But I've not seen the highlights, so I don't know.
Alright, I'm thinking because there was the second own goal where it was actually going wide.
Yeah, Griffith's shot was just going wide, and the keeper actually diverted it in, which is...
I think it was the defender that not diverted it in.
No, the keeper tried to save it, and he took the spin off the ball.
Right.
Which kind of made it go straight, and it went in. It was a calamity from start to finish. His sort of reaction time was pretty abysmal.
Yeah.
But by this point, the entire Astana defence had just kind of given up. We'll see his next week type stuff. So it should be a formality in Kazakhstan, so that's... all bodes well.
And Celtic back into the Champions League for a second year in a row.
Indeed.
All being well.
If results go their way, particularly in the Olympiacos and Rijeka game, they could find themselves in the third pot, which is a little bit of a bonus, I suppose, as well.
So is that like the kind of third ranked team in the group?
There was 4 seeded teams above them in the rankings that are left.
John loves his pot, by the way. This is,
I love it. I love the technicality.
John on the pot.
All about those pots. Right.
I'm a keen gardener. Me and Ali McCoy go way back.
Who else is in that pot then?
So Napoli...
potentially.
It doesn't matter because they won't play them.
They won't play them.
No, but to get an idea of the sort of
the calibre.
team level.
For Celtic to to actually make it in the third pot, they need either Olympiacos, Napoli, and 2 others. Forget the 2. 2 really big teams. They're really comfortable in the position that they're at. Olympiacos are only 2-1 after the home leg.
Napoli beat
Napoli
Rangers.
won, didn't they?
2-0, I think.
2-0. Yeah, quite a comfortable game as far as I could read. Napoli down to
Loved the
9 men
stats.
as well.
Really?
I think so.
And he's made some decent signings, like Wesley Schneider went
Signed
to Nice.
this week, yeah.
I did hear
I was
that.
like, he's looking for a wee PSG move, stroke
Maybe.
something like that. I think that's
Yeah.
what he's angling for.
One last payday.
Aye.
He made a fair amount in Turkey, I would imagine, for Galatasaray. So.
They beat Ajax too, didn't they?
They did, who are now struggling in Europa League
Yeah, I've seen
qualifying.
that, yeah.
I think they're just struggling in general.
Rosenborg, it was
Rosenborg,
1-0
yeah, 1-0,
At-
and that was at home.
at the Amsterdam Arena.
That's it.
And you're thinking, the team that made the final, did it?
Yeah,
they made the
final
final last
Europa
year,
League.
Against Man United.
might not even qualify.
The Champions League.
Bonkers.
Well, that's crazy.
Dun, dun, dun. Sorry, it's a Dizzy Rascal reference. I'll put the actual track in there instead of my terrible murmuring. But no, would that be a good thing if they went into the third pot?
6-1, really.
See, it totally depends, doesn't it?
You fancy them at Celtic Park against anyone, really? Considering what they managed to achieve against Man City.
That was only a draw, though.
But still, it's a point against
You could get a draw at home.
one of the top seeds. They gave Mushroom Gladbach a right good go. They had a tough group last season. I don't think you can.
Yeah.
No,
Don't think they'll get another.
If that had been
Tough
a
group.
Leicester style group,
lol. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for a PSG so that I can try and swig a
That's
cheeky
true, actually. That'd be quite good.
away ticket to try and, because I don't think there's a hope in heck I'd get a home ticket.
no chance. I think Pat Bonner was hoping they played Real Madrid. It would been the 1967 season. It's like 50 years.
that's true,
Right.
Played Madrid in the final.
I didn't
That'd
give
be
them
quite
another
interesting,
anniversary to celebrate. Jeez.
Well, I hope they get someone. It isn't Barcelona.
Aye, as long as it's not
They've
bad.
played Barcelona.
Far too many
Enough
times.
times lately.
Boring. Like,
Yeah.
Be good to get a Juventus kind of back through there. Maybe a
a Bayern Munich.
Bayern Munich would be good.
Bayern Munich, PSG,
PSG.
definitely.
I
I'd
think
like to see
PSG
that.
would be good. They've not really played.
Even a Premier League team back up. Man United.
Man United would be in it because there's obviously those legendary games where Shuniseki Nakamura in my totally non-racist tone sunk that, like, those amazing left-footed free kicks
remember.
against them back in those days. So that would be cool.
Yeah.
A great payday for them, and of course it looks like this Patrick Roberts deal is looming.
Yep.
So
that's
you
all.
think Man City are holding out for the cash that they now know that Celtic
Yeah.
are going to be getting?
Aye.
Something was saying it was worth £30 million. This getting the,
Well, I
the
thought you
group
meant
stages.
Roberts, and I was like, what?
Whoa, no, calm down. And then there's a nice wee payday as well for Premiership teams, Scottish Premiership teams. So you get nearly £250,000
Do they?
if
that right?
Celtic get in the group stages. Aye, it's to do with fixture altercations, and this is a kind of
Oh, right, so
compensation scheme.
just kind of move it back.
Oh, I did hear that because Rangers was going to get some money or something.
Aye, ironic.
It's a bit undeserving, if I'm honest.
Well,
Wait
I'll
and see.
pay for Aberdeen's fine in Europe, so that's alright.
Well, it was Everton crowd trouble the other night. I think
Yeah.
they
Well,
were both stung for. I don't know what that was about.
It looked pretty hairy.
Yeah.
Was it both sets of fans, or was it just the?
The
I think it
Hajduk
was
fans
both,
were
yeah, but they were worse.
they're notorious.
Was it Hajduk split or was it Reject?
Hajduk.
Hajduk. Okay.
Torcida.
No idea. What's Torcida?
Torcida's the Vultures group.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. I'm cultured.
Just ask John.
Our Ultras correspondent there, John Brown, giving all the details.
all over the
TV.
BBC website.
So random.
Torcida's.
Know that. But in other Celtic news this week, Armstrong signed a cheeky wee 2-year deal. Despite all the rumours swirling around about him going to...
Nah, no one was interested.
Do you think that was what happened?
Yes.
I think Southampton were the only team rumoured there.
And even then, I don't think they were all that bothered.
No.
It's a bit like it's a leverage deal. Like,
I mean, but then you've got that issue with Southampton of Van Dijk, trying to get his move, so I don't know maybe whether that held things up, or
I mean,
one Celtic man for another, maybe.
it would only cost about 3-4 million to get him.
Armstrong?
Yeah, he's not worth a huge amount. He's a good player, but he's
Depends how
not.
long's left in his contract. I think it'll be
Rogic is
more
a
than
better player.
that. He's not as good looking, though.
I mean, if that's what you're going to base it on.
No, but to sell kits on the posters, you have to be an advertising man. To be honest, I think they're much of a muchness kind of together. But another kind of point we're going to make was about player power
Oh yeah.
over clubs. There's a lot of people at the moment trying to force moves. We hear today that Ousmane Dembele has apparently wrecked Jurgen Klopp's house in Dortmund, which he's renting since he's now at Liverpool.
You should.
Well, I'll clip that, don't worry. Why would you do that? What are you even talking about? Like,
somebody did that at Falkirk.
what?
I think it was John Hughes.
To try and force a move?
No, he did it to one of the players. I forget who it was, but he did that.
Was that just his sense of humour there?
I was a
joke.
A prank. It went horribly wrong.
I don't even want to envisage how that was set up. So, what is the power struggle like for clubs versus players? I'll leave John.
Sorry.
But like, for example, were you sad to see Neymar go from Barcelona, Darren?
Well,
and how do you feel about the Coutinho situation?
Well, Coutinho, yeah, exactly. It's a bit of both, ain't it? It's like, I can understand the Neymar move because in terms of him,
stupid buyout clause that should have never been paid.
Well, yeah. I can understand why he wants to move in terms of if he wants to be the main man, because if Messi's at the club, that's not going to happen until he leaves. And then from like the Philip Coutinho point of view, I think he does want to move, and that's why he's trying to force it through what he can. But at the same time, I don't think he's done that much apart from like a transfer sort of request. But
picked up a back injury though, so.
It did.
A back injury.
No,
doesn't help with the medical.
That takes a wee bit off the value of the player as well. So that's an issue.
But means he can't get down to take a dump in someone's trainers.
Brilliant.
I think that's a new title now, to be honest.
But yeah, you can see it from like very much the Premier League clubs. You can see a lot of players that's obviously trying to force through moves, and it does seem to be these days, if the player wants to move, they will get it.
They kind of throw their toys.
Yeah.
Well, we see it as well with like Jamie Walker, kind of throw his toys out the pram at Hearts, and
happens at every level.
But are players kind of becoming divas? Shouldn't they get their head down? Because would this happen in like Eastern European nations who are kind of much more serious?
Yes, of course it would.
Would it though?
Yeah.
Well, I was hearing, it was an interview with Darren O'Dea, excellent professional footballer, of course, about his time in Ukraine. And he was saying like the players just did what they had to do, even throughout like Crimea War 2, essentially. So
in the past it used to be like that.
Aye.
I think just these days it's the figures getting chucked about so on. It's just
more and more to do with agents as well. Like all these guys will have someone in their ear.
They cause half the problems.
But it's sad to see the kind of end of players playing for clubs. Really, it's kind of
always been like that though. For a good maybe 20 years.
Yeah, for a good 20 years. But do you think that's a healthy shift of balance? Do you think?
No, it all kind of contributes to my big theory of the ball's about to burst.
Ooh. I think that could be very true. I mean, a lot of people are now saying, these footballers don't even look like they're enjoying themselves anymore.
No, they don't. I mean, it's a big... They don't have a break anymore either. It's all just a constant cycle of playing football. I mean, how can you enjoy that? Pick up your pay packet, obviously, but...
Personally, I think recent times is like Dimitri Payet. I think he sort of started that.
Yeah,
he was a snake.
Yeah, he sort of started this new trend of, well, I'm wanting to move, so I'm going.
Toys at the pram.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was a high profile case at the time.
Yeah, but I mean, high profile wise, he was definitely one of these big names that started that.
I mean, it always happens to some degree. Quite if it's publicised, I think with the Premier League in particular, there is such a focus on every single player that slight issues like that are blown well out of proportion. And Coutinho's a prime example.
I mean, does every player have their price?
Yes.
Are Liverpool being unreasonable not taking £112 million?
It's a curious one though. They're going to have, if they are going to sell him, they need to sell him shortly because the window's sort of coming to an end.
It is.
And to bring in another player, I mean, you look how long it took sort of Barcelona to get Neymar. That took weeks. This Coutinho thing's dragging on for weeks. Clubs are going to know that Liverpool have got, say, £112 million lying in the bank. They're going to drag out for as long as they can to get as much money as possible. That
was one thing I noticed actually about the Premiership teams in particular, actually, that the teams, because we're now later in the transfer kind of window, started the season, our business is basically done. So the teams are much stronger than they were at the start of the window when they're playing their European ties.
Aye, curious enough.
Yeah. And you're like, oh man, see if, an Aberdeen now could have played, that Limassol with like Stevie May, and then again if St Johnstone could have played Trakai with Michael O'Halloran in the team, and
Aye, we're doing a different outcome entirely.
it would have been.
But you question if that deal was possible. Why wasn't that the very first thing it was done?
Well, exactly. Scottish teams are a disaster
No.
of organisation, though. So
Give us stuff to talk about.
it does.
Very
It does. There you go. I don't think they're swinging for an amateur podcast, which gets on average about 50 listens a week. But
But thanks to those who do.
I know. Share it with your friends, make it more. That sort of thing. So
We're aiming for 60.
we are. But I mean, transfers of recent times have just gone mad. I'm getting bored by how much money is now spent in the Premier League. I'm now blasé by like Watford spending 50 million on some guy.
Aye, and Gylfi Sigurdsson gone for 50 million.
45.
Scandal.
I mean, who are... Again, that's a late in the window
Yep.
deal.
So Swansea are now scrambling about with £45 million.
I think Boney's a strong contender
Every
I did
chance.
see that.
for one spot at least. Who else are they going to buy beyond that?
I'm sure they can pick up Moussa Dembele on a cheap. He was.
But then do you want another striker to replace...
No, I'm talking about like the Tottenham Dembele.
Oh, the...
Who's
Oh,
Sissoko.
Oh, right, okay. Sorry, Sissoko, yeah. I don't think anyone wants him. But Tottenham themselves, I think, signed... I think they just felt peer pressured into buying someone after going the full window.
I think they did.
Without doing it. Meanwhile, the window in Scotland's now just become static, desolate.
Free transfers.
Pretty much some tumbleweeds flying through some kind of nothings. Rumours of Blair Alston possibly being available to come back to
Yeah, I mean, some
Falkirk.
random guy on a forum was sort of suggesting this afternoon.
Sorry, John, a credible source.
A guy who's in the know.
A Mr. B. Alston 1994 on forum, like,
Save me.
help.
There's like SOS down the side.
Oh, there must be some wee side forum for football players where they
Oh, it has to be the way. Like a WhatsApp group chat.
up for transfer. Must be an easy way for these people to access these sort of things. But I guess speaking of players becoming divas, we had a Hibernian Rangers match last week.
Oh, yes.
Lots of sending offs, lots of appeals for the SPFL to deal with this week. I'm sure someone was panicking at a fax machine somewhere.
Just click yes and move on.
That's essentially what's happened. We had 4 red cards in the league last week, I think. 5.
You can imagine a little dialogue box coming up on the screen. It's like,
I tell you what, though, I watched Gillette Soccer Saturday, and that is the most red cards up and down the country I've ever seen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm
There
no
I
surprised.
think
Pretty
I
hard.
wish I had just went and counted them all, but there must have been at least, about 38 red cards or something like that. It was crazy.
It must be a full moon last week or something else.
Aye.
These lads must have been jumped up. So let's go through it, shall we?
why not?
Ryan Jack, red card. Should it have been the appeal been accepted or not?
No.
John, no. Did you see the incident, Dan?
Not really.
Not really. There wasn't much to see, truth be told.
It wasn't the only one who should have been sent off there, though.
No.
Stokes was a lucky guy.
My problem with that was the game at that point was very, very heated.
Oh, aye.
And it came over to about, it was Dorrans and
McGeoch.
McGeoch. Was it a late challenge by Doran?
It was a heavy challenge. I think it was maybe a wee bit late as well on McGeoch, who's got glass legs.
Aye. So that sparked a whole hoo-ha in which at least 9 or 10 players
I seen that. Yeah.
surrounded the referee. They were all...
Barging each other.
Yeah.
Ryan Jack eventually motioned for the headbutt.
Wait.
That's what Beaton saw.
He motioned for the headbutt after he tried to take off McGeoch's head.
Yes.
And that is what I think. I think the 2 actions justified a red card. However, Stokes, who tried to take
I see that,
Tavernier's
yeah.
head off earlier in the game, which was... It was a wrestling move.
Yeah. Oh, aye, that was an RKO. Like,
I know. How on earth... Was he booked?
I didn't think it was that.
I don't think he was even booked.
Nah.
So he should have been booked for that. Then he should have been booked for his antics with Jack. So he should have been off. But Beaton was clearly losing control of that game.
I mean, he seen the motion, and that's when he really stepped in. You see him jump on it, and he acted instinctively that he had really motioned for the head
Yeah.
and tried to make contact. That's why Jack was sent off. I don't think he's seen the melee between. I'm using my words.
Word of the week.
Between Stokes and the rest of
The
them,
Stramash.
among others. But you got to look at the kind of with that. I think Simon Murray had a good game. He scored a goal.
That was a good goal.
I
I
seen
tipped
that.
him in like
I doubted him.
last week's
I
podcast.
doubted him. He's proven me wrong. I must admit, he's looked good.
I was surprised they actually shifted Graham. Was he the other striker at
Dan
Hibs?
Graham, my big guy,
I shifted him out on loan, which shows how much confidence they've got in
and Murray and Stokes.
Simon Murray down south somewhere.
I
Graham
think it was
went.
Southport, something weird like that.
Aye. But no, I think Beaton had to get the game under the control. Took the red card. From what I saw from the highlights, after that things were a bit more chilled. So it achieved
It done the job.
that. Probably changed the game. Although that Hibs, was it the third goal from the Lithuanian?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, his name, of course.
That guy.
I'm not going to attempt it.
Velika?
Velitska.
It's not Velichka, that's a former Rangers man himself. But it was a beast of a finish.
Oh, beautiful.
I did see that.
So credit where that's due. So, right decision to overturn that then, we think?
No.
Okay, right. One red cross by the SFA. Next decision. Ismail Goncalves. Chalves.
So that was a red card for having his man bun pulled by Kirk Broadfoot.
By Kirk Broadfoot. What on earth Kirk Broadfoot's doing in that situation?
Thinking.
I do not know.
He thought, that's hideous, I'm taking it out.
Enough of that.
It's weird. It was like a wee cube on the back of his head. It
Just
wasn't
looks
even.
stupid.
It wasn't even like a spherical.
Yeah.
No, that was done on the fly. That.
I have no idea.
They did that with 2 mirrors, you can just see them.
It was pretty bad. But he then elbowed Kirk Broadfoot. You don't.
I never really seen it. I seen the pull, and that's when I was like, yep, red card straight away.
I think he elbowed him. I would have upheld the red card because of that. Even though, if someone was pulling my hair in the playground, I would have, acknowledged an elbow in the face. Would have been all right. Which it's good to have him back for Hearts actually, because he's the only one scoring their goals at the moment.
Yep.
That's true.
And they've got a big game next week, of course, or this to
Well,
the big game today.
Yes.
Actually,
Strictly speaking.
aye, the result was predictable.
Nah, good game though.
Good performances.
So should have been sent off.
I think so. I think so. Daly made some decisions.
See Willie Collins the ref.
Oh yes, I did see that. When's his Egyptian fantasy trip happening? Is that
Oh,
off?
sure, I think it's passed.
Is he refereed
done
in
that.
Egypt? I would have thought that would have been a bigger deal. I thought we would get pics, like
No,
a wee postcard from him, maybe.
Yeah, it's like, wish you were here.
That's one thing though.
He's a fellow teacher.
Was he? I didn't mention that. We would track me down. But was it Beaton and Craig Thompson are being dropped down a level for the weekend?
Oh, I
They're
heard
doing
about that.
championship games.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're doing the Falkirk game. I
Is
forgot to
that
check.
fair though? Like,
I'm really
I
curious
heard
if.
one of them's been like put to like fourth official too.
Oh, maybe.
I
Just
think
to think-
maybe Beaton because I think
It takes the heat off them, which I can understand. I'll be curious to know who gets bumped up from the championship.
I do not know any championship referees. Just be told, I'm not.
I mean, we normally get landed with sort of SPFL or Premiership refs anyway. Really.
Yeah,
I've never noticed otherwise, unless it's like Kevin Clancy or
I'm sure Andrew Dallas and stuff's done
Andrew
a few.
Dallas, Beaton, Column. What's the other guy's name? Anyway, it doesn't matter. But I'll be curious to see how these
Well,
guys go.
interesting. I think it's a bit harsh. And it must be terrible to be a referee and have every single decision you make scrutinised.
Yeah.
I mean, I bet you Club 1872 have got like a draft statement ready for after that game.
Have you read what they said about Lennon?
Yes. Oh, it's just glorious.
Right. So, I read the statement. Lennon deemed this as, childish?
Childish, yeah.
I don't think it was childish. However, it was from a very biased perspective. As Club 1872 you'd expect. They're what? 20% shareholders in Rangers or something like
No,
that?
it's more than that. Well, they're second highest in Germany.
They've got a large shareholder. The comments I saw, and I can't remember, I think they praised the Rangers fans for restraining themselves after Neil Lennon's reaction with Hibernian score. Now, we've seen Neil Lennon's reaction. He motions toward the crowd with his hands next to his ears going, what are you saying? And when you watch that clip back in the ultimate high definition footage we have these days, you see every single person in that stand get up and wave some sort of offensive gesture and chuck what must be the rudest language you've ever. I think John Hughes actually took a dump in his shoe and threw it at him. And I was like, restraining themselves? I'm not so sure. But do you think a manager should have reacted like that?
No.
Do you think it's actually a problem?
But Neil Lennon's notorious for it, so it doesn't really matter.
But seriously, can't do that.
You
No.
can, why not?
No.
But he's a manager, right?
So?
As a player, we see that sort of thing all the time.
Yeah, a
Do
manager's
you see
different.
Brendan Rodgers do that?
Brendan Rodgers is a different style of manager.
I know, but even...
I mean, see when you see, if you take like Mourinho as probably the biggest example ever, when the Porto Man United, and he ran down the entire length of the pitch
Oh, did he?
when Porto scored. You know,
Mourinho's quite an enigmatic...
imagine him doing that if he was Hibs manager against Rangers in that game.
That's fun to say on a number of levels,
Well,
but...
But that is it's scenario versus scenario. But so what? You know,
I think initially I was like, you know what? It's part of the pantomime. It's part of the show.
it was.
You know, brilliant. But and then I thought I've not seen many managers do that sort of thing before.
Yeah, you'll see one or two proper wind-up merchants like Lennon. I'll do that.
Oh,
But he's notorious for it. And that's maybe that's how
He
he
is
gets his
known for
kicks.
that,
Who knows? But that didn't really bother me. I wasn't affected by it, obviously.
no.
If he'd done it, if I was sitting in the Falkland main stand and he'd done that towards us, I'd be angry.
Yes.
But I wouldn't write a statement about
No,
it.
I don't like calling the police and stuff like that
Aye,
was too far. I think it's just maybe a sign of immaturity on his part. But you know,
it's a sign of trying to make yourself the victim.
yeah. But it's ridiculous that that rivalry seems hotter than the Old Firm derby at the moment. I think
They're more competitive. That's the.
the Rangers are blind though. It's just anything green. They're just like go for them.
There's a ginger guy with popcorn teeth in the dugout. It's like,
Sorry, Simon Murray. It's absolutely bonkers. But I guess moving on now. After that, we're going to talk a little about. There's two SPFL teams
on
come
the
out
move.
with new plans this week. One of them for a brand new nightclub in Aberdeen, a new 18,000 capacity dance club featuring a wee youth academy to bring through the hottest new DJs, a fan area outside to
Keep it cool.
get the atmosphere going, and also a
Sounds
museum so that you can see all the legendary conquests from the past.
Wow.
And we're calling it Club Aurora. Oh yes.
Sounds good.
This of course is not a nightclub. This is Aberdeen's new campaign.
If you want to call it that.
It's a campaign. Aurora,
We'll call it that.
Aurora being Latin for new beginning.
A Hail Mary pass, yeah.
Well, connecting with the fans there. But everyone's behind it. So they've announced plans to build a new 18,000 seater stadium.
I think so.
19,000 seater stadium out on the outskirts of Aberdeen.
Kingsford.
Kingsford. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan because I guess the main topic of this is what makes a stadium atmospheric. And I think for me, like, the number one thing is like the location of the stadium. This has like in the plans where the park and ride buses are going to arrive.
Oh, magic, yeah. Can't wait.
Yeah, that's a bad. See, like, for if every Saturday you had to get a park and ride to the stadium for years,
You wouldn't go.
you wouldn't go. I mean, it's just such a hassle.
Especially if it's like a nice warm pub
Aye.
in the city centre and then you go on a bus. 2-year game. That's a joke.
We look at our local team. This is a slightly different example, but Brockville, for example, if you were to go behind the wall drinking on a Saturday,
You're like 5 minutes down to the stadium.
5 minutes down at the stadium, now
It's a half-hour walk.
half-hour walk, which isn't the end of the world, in fairness. Falkirk's lucky
Really?
because it's a bit of a...
It's all downhill. Well, it's downhill on the way there.
As long as the weather's alright and you're not dragging some Germans who are used to seeing Borussia Dortmund,
Yeah, that was an issue. That was an
That was
issue.
a bad idea, John.
They were not happy.
No, I think they actually beat Dundee United like 4-0 and it was still an abysmal game.
Aye, well, the atmosphere was abysmal.
Oh, it's terrible. So yeah, it's just what makes a stadium atmospheric. And you've been to the Camp Nou a few times, Dan.
Yeah,
Would you say that's one of the more atmospheric places when it's not being
Can
corporate?
be. Well, yeah, it just depends who's there, I suppose. But yeah, no, like, don't get me wrong, when it's a big game, it's just incredible. But yeah, it very much goes. You need your fans, like your core fans, to be there to really make it.
Oh yeah, and not be park and rided road. And, oh dear.
But yeah, definitely. Obviously, I agree with you. Like location.
Location. Thank you.
Does
Is it
matter.
Phil Spencer?
Dion Dublin.
Dion Dublin. Oh,
Dion Dublin.
Well, no, he does Homes Under the Hammer.
he
I
does
think.
Homes
I was
Under
about
the
to say,
Hammer.
no, it's not.
I mean, classy. So.
Who does location?
Phil Spencer.
Phil-
Come-
Aye, it is Phil Spencer,
and
aye.
Kirsty somebody.
Anyway, to Kirsty Allsop now.
What?
What makes a stadium atmospheric for you, John?
For me, well, it depends on your fans, the fan culture, and if you have that kind of element within it. Like, you could take Scotland's prominence up Green Brigade. Even like Motherwell, the Well Boys are quite good.
Oh, yeah.
I was quite surprised with them.
There's
St
a good
Mirren,
wee section of St Johnstone lads that...
Aye, I forget the name of them. But even like first game of the season, St Mirren this season for Falkirk, there was only about 40 or 50 of them, but St Mirren had a nice wee group.
Aye.
Created an atmosphere. And it was a wee bit of banter going backwards and forwards for the Falkirk fans, but we never had that. We don't really have that element, which is, I don't really care.
I mean, there used to be the kind of choir section.
Aye, at Old Brockville, but not anymore.
Not really a thing anymore, but I think for me, what makes a stadium atmospheric is if it's old and crumbling. I like an old crumbling stadium.
I mean, you can't beat a bit of terracing.
Terracing's good. I mean, Pittodrie's pretty
Aye, that's
decrepit now.
There's a bit of character about it. It's the same with Tynecastle. Tynecastle's one of the best stadiums in Scotland.
Good. I actually quite liked... what's the Morton one called?
Capello.
I liked Capello. I was freezing, and I was standing on the hardest concrete I think I've ever stood on in my life.
Oh, that's concrete for you.
Oh, no, this was harder than concrete. This was frozen concrete. That
enjoyed watching the trains come past.
Atmospheric though. Things were
old-fashioned.
moving faster than the players by some margin. It was interesting to watch. But I guess then it brings me on to the question of what's the most atmospheric game you've ever been at then? Was it a big special occasion?
Quite a few.
Oh, lucky you, John.
Lucky me.
I guess for Falkirk, you've been lucky enough to go to many cup finals,
couple of cup
playoff
finals, semi-finals. But they're good. They're like, it's a different kind of atmosphere. If you take a generic Falkirk game, it's pretty grim. The main atmosphere in the moon.
But for example, like why wouldn't you chant through like a normal Falkirk game versus a cup final?
Again, it's just down to atmosphere. It's the magnitude of the game. Probably if I had a few bevs on though as well.
Aye.
That helps. But in terms of the best atmosphere I've ever been in, must have been Newcastle versus Benfica, Europa League. Oh, just incredible. And even, we'll come on to it later I suppose, but the Newcastle Tottenham game last weekend, incredible.
Talk about that now.
No, I can talk about that just now if you want. Yeah, I mean, you're talking 52,000 Newcastle fans. City Centre Stadium, it's only like 5 minutes.
That's a good point, aye.
Yeah, right to the city centre, so you got, all the pubs around it, just masses of local fans as well, which helps. And then me and my dad sitting in the corner.
That's our local Premier League team, technically, isn't it?
For us, it is, and you can't class me as a glory hunter, that's for damn sure. I mean, 30 quid for a ticket wasn't too bad.
Right.
You would pay that kind of for a decent level game in Scotland.
Yeah, for like a
maybe a Celtic
cup
game,
final.
perhaps. So yeah, all in all, great trip, and that's what makes good fans. You sort of your stadiums, city centre, local fans, and they're up for it with a good bev. That's what makes an atmosphere.
Aye, good bunch of lads. But I think you're quite lucky to be there for the first game of the season. That must have been in high demand.
A little bit sold out in a couple of days, but member so that's alright.
So what was it like seeing players such as Dele Alli, Harry Kane?
Well, no comment on Dele Alli.
He wasn't popular.
Don't go there.
Harry Kane was pretty guff, to be honest. Didn't rate him at all.
Better than Chris Kane of St Johnstone?
Aye. Just.
Really?
You wait, he'll have his... Is it Queen of the South he's gone?
Yeah, it was.
I think so.
Quite surprised at that, but there you go.
Anyway, sorry, I've put you off track.
Christian Eriksen was world class for Tongan and Alderweireld. I think it was the two centre backs. They were great, and Hugo Lloris had nothing to do. So Newcastle were a little better than I thought they were going to be, though.
Yeah, it's a shame that they got Jojo Selvey sent off.
Aye,
Jojo Selvey.
Jojo.
I'd rather say that.
I'd rather have Jojo Selvey on my team than John Joe's some boy.
Big baldy Voldemort.
Aye, scares the life out of you. He does things like that. It's a horror show.
We also saw Mike Ashley in the run up to the game doing a wee Jedi mind trick interview, telling the Newcastle fans, how skint he is, how Newcastle United is a small team.
We were backed by Chinese owners.
So a bit daft there, but so yeah, definitely a better experience than your usual Falkirk Saturday at the
Absolutely, it was a toss up between
South
that
Stand.
or at home with Dumbarton.
Oh, Dumbarton. That was awful. Absolutely awful.
I'll bet.
That's all we'll say about that. But there was a crane there to watch. Game from a Crane, it was called.
Hang yourself from a crane.
Well, I mean, that was certainly an option. But I mean, I saw two arguments behind, that it was a kind of cheesy sponsorship, kind of gimmick,
Right,
and it was devaluing the club.
Well, we can rank this, right? So you've got the crane.
Yes.
We had the classic car. Watched the game from a classic car.
Oh, I didn't know the classic car.
No, we had a classic car.
That seems a bit better.
Man in a truck.
Yeah, I do remember the
Yeah,
truck
I
one.
remember the truck.
I didn't understand that.
And
But there
then-
was window wipers available if it started to rain.
But the best one of all
Was
the hot tub.
yes.
Oh, the hot tub, yeah.
So if you're going to rank the four of them and the cringy factor, where are you going to put them?
The crane is the most novel, I would
And it's
say.
not so bad, in my opinion, because you get a great view.
You is it any better than you would get for the top of the south stand though? I don't.
You'd be kind of struggling if you had a pie.
Well, they had to
Or
take
worse.
up. I
Send
saw,
up.
them, I saw them take up like bags. They took up like bags of Greggs and stuff like that, which you wouldn't ordinarily take into the Falkirk Stadium, but that's what they were doing. But
Was there a wee bucket in the corner?
listen, John, what is it with you?
Well, you
and
gotta think of the practicalities.
feces this evening? You're just all about like.
You think of the practicalities.
John will be off the podcast next week.
Aw.
Don't you worry about that.
That's a 3-match ban then.
No. But
I'll get rescinded, sorry.
I know. I'll take a hard line, harder line than the SFA. But speaking of Falkirk, I guess they probably got one of the more interesting draws of the Irn Bru Challenge Cup.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Is it the Challenge Cup?
Challenge Cup.
Challenge Cup.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
They will go to
Sligo.
Sligo Rovers, isn't it?
Yes.
In Ireland. Very near Northern Ireland, so it's glad that we're happening this year and there's no border patrols currently to navigate at this time
Yes.
Yeah.
because of Brexit. But this is something you were angling for since the competition's inception, John.
I was hoping for something like Belfast or Dublin, not
That would have been more convenient.
Sligo.
Had to be better.
I'm not going to the other side of Ireland. Like,
But you get to see somewhere that you would never have seen before.
I wouldn't want to go there anyway.
Do you think they're that bothered? I don't. Because this, right,
There's nothing stopping us sending their under 20s.
well, but even there's not even any points in the under 20s because if you're paying the money to transport folk there, you might as well take the first team.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But is there like a different prize money for those? I don't know.
I don't know how it works, and I don't know how they get away with it. I don't mind the.
Do you actually make money on a tie like that? I think you're struggling.
Yeah, I'll break even. Your travel expenses are paid for, or you're given a budget
Oh, are they?
from the SPFL.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
I
I think
wasn't,
it's not much, but it should cover a bus and a ferry.
I wasn't sure if the Irish teams and that were in it again.
Apparently, so did it not extend
It did.
to the? This is the first time a Republic of Ireland
Yes.
team.
So
Oh,
there's,
is it? Ah, right.
there's 2 Northern Irish teams, 2 Welsh teams, 2 Republic of Ireland teams.
Yes.
We're playing one of the Republic
How many
teams.
Scottish teams?
It was 60 odds.
Oh, here we go.
Man City and that not accept our invitation.
I'd rather have them in it than I'd rather have them in the Scottish
Newcastle.
under 20 Colts.
In the Ireland
The
Bru
Colt
Cup.
teams are an absolute calamity.
Well, what Celtic went out.
Celtic went
Yeah,
out, Rangers
that's-
went. Hearts,
Rangers
Aberdeen,
went out.
and
What did
Motherwell.
Rangers go out?
Yeah.
I would be off
Against
Dumbarton.
Dumbarton.
Oh, that's a difficult one actually.
Yeah. Because Aberdeen played St Johnstone's under 20s.
Yes,
Stupid tie.
1-0 victory.
Like one man and he's dug in the crowd. Like,
Well, yeah, it's hard to get behind. Speaking of which, come along to the Falkirk Development League games next week against Celtic. I'll be doing the announcing. So, the comforting tones of Sofamanager still coming to you then.
live as well.
I could pre-record it. That'd be good. I'd have to know the teams and all that.
Just guess.
Yeah, who cares? Who actually cares?
And number 1, number 2 then.
But Aberdeen under 20s going to face Inverness, his full team, at home in Brecon.
Super.
Ackley Park. Now, I remember last year they didn't play their home games at Brecon. They played it out at, like, I think Tullis or something, just on the outskirts of Aberdeen.
They're playing Cove though, that would have been a lot easier.
Cove would have been... Why?
Or even Peterhead.
Well, Pataudry is the obvious, like...
Because there won't be a game on that's international, Scotland game.
Is it really worth, though, paying Brecon instead of... Because there surely be some... Will there be some Inverness fans? I don't know.
1 or 2.
It's a long journey. It's still an hour and a half or so, isn't it?
It's even worse for Inverness fans to go to Brecon. And it gets worse. I mean, think Motherwell under 20s were playing some one of the foreign teams.
Oh, Motherwell under 20s got like one of the Welshire.
I'm sure they did.
You're kidding.
Is that right?
I wish I was kidding.
That's a disaster. See, this right, okay, you're not a big fan of this competition, John, are you?
I used to be a really big fan of it.
It's only been going in this format for
Purely
like
because
2 seasons.
Falkirk are record holders of the trophy.
It used to be the Bells Challenge Cup or something back in the day or something.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it used to be Bells Challenge Cup when we started watching football. Falkirk won it in 04-05. It's the first time.
Oh, here we go.
That's when they won it, and then they won it in
For highlights, check out Sofamanager JB.
13-14 maybe
That's
the last
the
time
last-
they won it.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
What are you looking up for us now on your red card phone?
I'm looking for that Motherwell game. Aye, Crusaders versus Motherwell Colts.
At Crusaders.
At Crusaders.
At Crusaders.
That's all right.
No, that's worse. It's actually worse. Because if I'd been at Fir Park, there may have been some like normal Motherwell fans would have went just because they're playing.
The novelty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
There is-
no Crusaders fans will go.
There's no Motherwell fan in their right mind going down to
Oh, no,
Crusaders
no.
to watch their
No,
under
no,
20s.
no. But what if Crusaders get beat?
That's true. What does that say about them?
I mean, that's always the interesting thing about I remember when Celtic played Linfield.
Oh, talking about
Linfield, yeah.
Linfield.
All right,
They're playing either Albion Rovers or Spartans.
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 Spartans aren't even like a remotely professional team.
But the thing is, if it's Spartans versus Linfield, 'cause it'll be Spartans, which is in Edinburgh.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's not bad for
you
Linfield
Oh,
fans
that's true, actually.
or Rangers fans to get to Ainsley Park.
Move it to Easter Road where Neil Lennon can do his bit again. And,
Bigger crowd.
you never know if it were to be overhauled with Rangers fans.
Well,
That's
it's just quite funny.
that's
like,
quite funny actually.
the rest of them are a bit kind of meh. Dumbarton, I've got Connors Quays Nomads.
Right.
I think it's one of the Irish teams.
See, Dumbarton can be absolutely mince when they're no bothered about a tie.
Yeah.
Elgin City versus Bray Wanderers, which is a hell of a trip for because Bray are in Republic. They're just south of Dublin.
Are they playing in Elgin?
They're playing in Elgin, so they'll need to fly to
Inverness somehow.
or Aberdeen
Oh, aye.
because it's kind of halfway.
You'd be better off going Inverness, but that's a chartered flight. No
Oh,
matter
aye,
which
but
way
no-
you swing it.
Nobody doing that. Stranraer versus Partick Colts. The new Saints are playing Livingston again.
See, Stranraer really should be drawn against the Irish teams.
Yes, or even the Northern Irish teams.
This is the only time it's easy to get to Stranraer.
Yeah, it's probably quicker as well.
Pretty much.
The game on the Sunday is actually the New Saints versus Livingston, which I'm pretty sure was the same game last season.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I thought that when I seen the time.
And did it not go to a replay?
replay.
Yeah.
So this is the third time in 2 seasons that the New Saints have
Was
played Livingston.
there not a fourth for replay?
Or there was a player in it? There was something.
I think fourth.
Livingston had a replay.
Livingston did have a replay, and they had to go to Wales.
I think Forfar had a replay. I can't remember off the top of my
They
head.
had a legible player, but they still got to get a replay. That's what it was. They got a replay, even though it was Livingston that were in the wrong.
Aye.
Either way, these are miserable ties.
There's nothing interesting. I mean, the only ones I'm feeling kind of envious of is Dunfermline, who've got an away tie to Bucky. I think it's Bucky, which would be quite a good trip. Oh, it's like 4
We're
hours.
looking
there,
at
but
John in confusion.
Yeah.
who would you rather go?
Nowhere.
Conveniently.
This conversation is of no interest to me. This competition is. I don't know. It's novel. That's for sure. It's novel, and it gets us talking about it.
Yeah.
Indeed, we're probably the only ones talking about it.
Exactly,
We are
and that's why you subscribe to the Sofamanager podcast.
We talk about
And if-
things that no one
yeah, we talk about things that no one else does. And if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe. And for you that are subscribed, don't hit that unsubscribe button now. Oh dear. So from the Irn Bru Challenge Cup to a similarly sized competition, La Liga starts.
La Liga, yes.
Started today. With
Today,
some
yes.
unbelievable results, Darren.
Unbelievable, yes.
Pre-recorded Friday night, lads, as per.
Do you know who's playing for?
No idea. Absolutely.
Really?
Teams in Spain.
Couldn't care.
But yeah, Leganés are playing tonight against Alaves, so it's not really the best
Well,
start.
Leganes, well, they were there last year, so well
They
done them for being there this year, is my comments on that.
They did. They got quite a nice badge.
Do they?
Yeah.
I think, is that the one I won in FIFA Ultimate Team last year?
Oh, that was the one you liked, actually.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
So
There you go.
When I played it for 5 minutes.
But I think they two will be.
Snap the disc.
Do you know what? Funny story, as an aside, you know those like FIFA cards I've been doing on the Sofamanager Instagram page?
Oh yeah.
Shameless plug there. Like.
Oh yes. Also Twitter and Facebook and the website. Did you see my Paul McMullen one this week?
Yeah, you spelled it wrong.
I spelled it wrong. I put Paul McMullen.
Mullen.
It's McMullen, which was awkward because in the picture on his back, it's McMullen, and you can actually see like the name across his back is AN. So thank you to, I think, was it Glasgow Rangers fan page that said, and someone else that spotted that out. So
I think it was. Yeah.
thanks, guys. I just put that was straight awkward. Anyway, Dan, sorry.
No, it's fine. I like that they're pointing at your mistake.
Me too.
I got O'Halloran right the next day.
Spell check.
But yeah, I think they two will be relegation candidates. They two. They were quite nearly.
Great that they're there this year. Yeah, relegation candidates.
So, although Alaves done okay, I suppose.
It's really difficult at the bottom of that league. Like, it's pretty small clubs.
Aye. The other bit bigger game that's on tonight, Valencia are playing Las Palmas. So Valencia
keep going.
Obviously made a couple of half decent signings last year, bringing in Nani, Zaza they brought in, who's actually been okay for them.
Oh really?
What did he used to play for? West Ham?
West Ham
and Juventus.
And Juventus.
Nani was going to come at Rangers, was the rumour.
That was the rumour, yeah.
I suppose for Anita.
And Rodrigo there, who's ex-Benfica. Don't know if you remember him.
I've heard the name, I don't know the guy.
He's good. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Valencia can improve on last year, because
are they still skint Valencia, or have they kind of found their way by that now?
Yeah, they're still struggling a wee bit for money in terms of like going into the new stadium that they've built, and they're just waiting on moving into.
So
but
they
can't finish it off.
They still play at the Mestalla.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
an
But they've built the new stadium, the foundations, but they've not finished building it because they ran out of money.
That's an inconvenience.
Yeah.
So there's a few more seasons yet to get to Mestalla.
Apparently, I think the Mestalla's falling apart.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, so that's them. In the Saturday night games, we have Celta Vigo playing Real Sociedad. So that's 5:15 kick-off. That Celta Vigo aren't in the Europa League this year, so we might see them challenging a wee bit more towards the top of the league.
What the hell? All these teams having such a good run, and they're just knowing the competition.
Yeah, they just bombed it last year in the league. I think they ended 10th in the league. So, and then Real Sociedad, they're really just trying to keep a hold of their players. I don't know if you heard this one, John. Actually, Carlos Velas maybe going to America.
Really?
The rumour was they might go to like LA Galaxy or something like that.
I wouldn't be surprised. They're third bottom.
Oh no!
Western
Was he not rumoured to be attached with the new Los Angeles startup?
The LAFC.
LAFC.
That's what it was actually.
Yeah. They're getting backed by some really big players.
Really?
Down in Los Angeles, really rich people.
Like Stan Kroenke of the Los Angeles Rams.
That type of person. Magic Johnson.
Would they be playing at that new like NFL arena that they're building?
Nah, they're building their own stadium. Swear to God, they've got the Coliseum there, just hardly anybody uses it. The StubHub Centre, which is a joke, a stadium to be honest.
I like it. They've got these casual like grass hills that you could have like a picnic on while you watch the game. Which I like.
It's in the middle of nowhere. I've been.
Is it?
Claim to fame there.
So it's no hub.
I got to see Kenny Miller play for Vancouver Whitecaps.
Oh,
so there you go.
That's good.
We're full of random asides.
No, that's fine. I like that one though. That's good.
It's really boring, Dan. Just tell me.
No, it's not.
That's getting put in my eulogy.
That's good.
You'll be acknowledged in Kenny Miller's autobiography.
That one guy in the crowd in 2014. Go on, Kenny!
The voice of Scotland calls me home.
John?
Hughes, why are you pooing in some shoes? What's going on? Anywho.
Brilliant. And then the big team that I'm looking out for this season is Girona. Who came up? Girona.
They're not playing Italy.
So I don't know if you know, but they've brought in loads of Man City loans.
Youth.
Yeah, all the youth.
Jeez, did they just take an entire school and train them to play football?
The interesting thing is they might get taken over by Man City.
Tax avoidance.
Oh, that's dodgy.
Red flag on the field.
That's like that Chelsea agreement with the Dutch team.
Vitesse.
Yeah, that's right.
But Man City have got a wee club second division in Uruguay, and they do exactly the same if they're buying players from South America.
They're linked up with New York,
New York,
and
Sydney.
Sydney.
United.
No. It is Melbourne. It's Melbourne City.
Is it Melbourne City?
aye,
Aye.
Shocking.
So that might happen. What I find quite funny was that they got beat Man City 1-0 and they actually had half decent players playing against them.
Brilliant.
But I find it quite interesting that I've actually signed a few Premier League players. So
Oh, wait a minute. Did they go out to play them this week?
yeah.
What was that about?
It's
Like
it's for a
mid-season?
cup, but I think this is them trying to finalise their deal to get taken over.
That's dodgy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Weird.
But yeah, they signed a couple of players, Espinosa and Stulani from Middlesbrough.
Oh, yeah.
Christian-
Espinosa.
Yeah, Espinosa,
Oh, I'm
the centre back.
Sorry, I'm thinking of Francesco Sandaza.
Oh, yeah.
That's a totally different guy. But
How did you get that connection?
Where are you pulling that from?
was there not like an Espinosa that played with like Brighton? Or was that Sandaza? Who was the foreign guy that used to play with Brighton?
Sandaza used to play for Dundee United and Rangers. And
Yeah.
St
He
Johnstone.
didn't play for. Oh, he didn't. Right. Okay, chat away. I'm going to look
Right,
something
okay.
up.
He's Googling.
Google away. And then they also signed Mark Muniza, who's a ex-Barcelona player, and ex-Stoke City.
That name rings a bell. Aye.
So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. So they're playing Atletico Madrid at 7:15 tomorrow night, Saturday night. And then the last game on Saturday is Seville versus Espanyol. Seville have brought in quite good signings, actually. A bit of rejects in Premier League, I suppose, but they brought in Nolito, they've brought in Jesus Navas.
I didn't see Navas, but was it Nzonzi wanted out?
Nzonzi.
One of them
Oh
wanted-
yeah, Nzonzi was rumoured to be going to Juventus,
Mhm.
but then I think Juventus started looking at other transfer targets, so he's kind of been left in limbo there.
Quite right. He's not that great.
Yeah, he's done well for them lately, but as you say, there's probably better players out there.
I think I was thinking of Ajoa.
Ajoa,
Leonardo
right,
Ajoa.
Oh, the boy played for Leicester.
Aye.
yeah.
Anyway.
And then he is back at Seville.
He.
Sam.
Oh.
Ever Benega. He
Oh.
just came back.
Hofcha.
Was he there before?
Yeah, he was there.
was he Inter
Milan?
Milan?
He was at Inter Milan. He went there for a year and he's came back.
Oh, well.
So it'll be interesting to see if he gets on any better this time. He done well, to be honest.
Aye.
This time, he done okay. But can he actually win something with Seville again? It'll be interesting.
Europa League.
Yeah.
the best they can hope
They're
for.
going to get shocked at the Champions League, so they can win another
Yeah,
Euro.
pretty much. Interesting random aside. Again,
Okay.
listening to an interview with Aidan McGeady.
Oh,
today.
okay.
I've been going through interviews with Scottish footballers.
All right. Yeah.
Stroke Irish. Anyway, when he played with Spartak Moscow,
Mhm.
the manager was sacked while they were in the changing room, right?
Right.
Like the Russian just came in after, I think, a derby against Dynamo Moscow, which they lost. It was like, you're done. Bye-bye. The Russian oil oligarch basically chucked him. But the manager that got chucked was Unai Emery.
All right.
And I was like, of course,
Yeah.
took Seville to multiple Europa League titles, and now
I'm not convinced he's good enough for PSG.
no. If you are wanting to manage Neymar, you need him.
Yeah, you need a big name.
Oh,
yeah.
He's managing Spain though, so I
And
understand.
Mbappe.
You're honestly
Yeah.
going to get Mbappe, come on.
Why was he left out the Monaco
Nah.
team?
He's going to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Speaking of Real Madrid, who are they playing?
Well, they're just coming up. I'm going to tell you your team.
All right, I have a team. Oh,
yes,
bye-bye.
you have a team.
Sorry.
Yeah. They're playing 5:15. They've probably got the easiest game of the weekend actually against Getafe. who are
Signed
back in
anybody? They don't really sign anybody, do they?
No, not really. They
signed-
bring through a lot of youth,
They
obviously.
signed Reyes last year.
They did, yeah.
Ah,
From
yeah,
Atletico Madrid, yeah.
So-
That was a good sign.
Basking in the sunshine.
Hey.
Adderif scoring a couple of goals in the Europa League.
You can't have many seasons left.
No,
now,
I can't,
do you?
yeah. I think he's like 36 now. And then Barcelona are playing Real Betis in the first game of the season, and Real Madrid are away to Deportivo in the last game on Sunday.
Speaking of the two of them, I guess we had a
Yep.
bizarre Super Cup, which I didn't realise was 2 legs until this
Two
year.
legs, yeah.
What's that about?
It's just a tradition. They've always done it in Spain, so
Is
I
it
don't
for
think they want to
charity or
change it.
anything like that? Or is it
Money goes to them, but it's more just tradition, really. They've
Like
always
me.
done it in Spain, so they don't want to change it. So.
weird? I saw some Marco Asensio's looking scary.
Oh, yes.
His goals.
He's outstanding now.
There was a compilation.
Compilation.
A compilation.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you. Of his goals on
His
YouTube
goals.
from last season. I was like,
Yeah.
what? it. Why does he need Mbappe? This guy
Is roasting.
is probably equally as talented and already doing it.
That's basically what Real Madrid's saying. They don't need to bring anybody in because their squad's good enough. And then I was
Benzema needs to get to.
I tell you what though, he played outstanding the
Did
other
he?
night. Oh, he did. I've never seen him play that well, to be honest.
How did Barcelona look at that? I've seen the games.
Pretty bad, to be honest. Yeah.
Just defensively, or
Well, no, just right across the board. But it's, there was not really a good thing coming from the two legs, really. Probably Umtiti played okay, but
it's a
apart from him
difficult
and
time
Messi,
with a new manager, no new players. Paulinho.
Paulino and De La Feu's came back.
They buy him out of the Chinese Super League.
Yes, for 30
36,
or 40.
36 million. Crazy.
Why would you do that?
I think he was voted Tottenham's worst ever player, which I thought was harsh. To be honest, I don't remember him being that bad.
Mr. Sissoko was
Sissoko was there, exactly. That's what I was like.
Sissoko will be up there.
Did you get the Newcastle song from?
No.
Oh, good. It's like, he knows like he's magic, you know, right? So it's like he's tragic, you know. Nobody wants Sissoko.
Brilliant.
He got subbed after an hour. Great.
Did,
I noticed that. Yeah.
There you go. That's my karaoke for you.
that was very good. I think you were
Yeah, that was pretty
You
good.
sounded in tune there.
The Friday nights are paying off.
Aye. I'll be standing the Sound of Music in no time, lads.
But yeah, Barcelona definitely they need to get a couple of players in. Don't know who it'll be. Doesn't look like they're going to get Coutinho. Dembele maybe at Dortmund.
The thing is, like, players want to go there,
yeah, it's
but
just
nobody
the
wants
clubs
to
don't
give
want-
them anybody.
Yeah.
And Paris Saint-Germain just shafted them with some ridiculous thing that they never thought would happen.
Yeah,
Because it was like when they wanted Thiago Silva and PSG were like, right, we'll buy Messi out of his clause, which at the time was like 450 million.
yeah,
And they were like, we'll do it. And
that's right.
All right, well,
It's all getting paid for by the Qatari state.
yes.
So they're just looking to move funds out of Qatar
Oh, completely.
and into Europe.
Well, I think it's just a show of power, isn't it, really? It's,
Well, maybe.
It's all very bizarre, but
We're still open for business, but that's geopolitical crap.
either way, I think Barcelona's kind of signings over the last few seasons haven't really
No, they've not.
not been great, and their youth academy hasn't.
It's not
There's
topped it up.
nobody coming through that you're going to say, well, he's one to watch. Like, look at Real Madrid. They've got Asensio, who, they did buy him, but he has.
He's been
came
there for a
through
while.
The rankings, yeah.
Isco,
You've
who
got
they did buy again, but
but then you've also got like Vasquez, who's come into the squad last year. They've also got other young lads like Llorente, so on, coming through. To be honest, they're actually doing what Barca used to do, so it's flipped on its head.
I guess it comes in roundabouts, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
I love it in cycles.
But I was I was actually looking at the squad, Real Madrid squad, and I'm like going into this year. I've never seen their squad looking this good, and I've looked back over the years what they've done so far. I can't see them struggling at all in Spain this year. Champions League, they might do it again. It's like I was looking at their squad, as I said, and like on the bench they had Bale, they had Isco, they had a couple of their new signings, and then on obviously the pitch they had Casemiro, they had Kovacic, they had Modric back. It was like it's just endless names, and then that's even without Ronaldo. So
It's just a team full of Galacticos.
incredible.
Well, I was about to say, do they need Ronaldo?
Aye.
Yeah.
It's a defensive line of
Team full of
Real Madrid.
Galacticos. Check out this.
Getting the lingo, that's it.
You two have been to Spain, you're in the salsa move. But if you're Liverpool, do you take the 100 million for Coutinho and buy Bale?
I don't think it would go to Liverpool.
It's an option, but
Really?
I don't think he would.
Why
no.
not?
It's just not glamorous enough.
Yeah, he needs a big.
And Man
profile,
United
doesn't
would be.
Man United marginally,
he? Yeah.
yes.
Manchester's a such and such hole.
So is Liverpool, though. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but
You don't actually live in that city,
no,
though. You've got to
yeah,
remember that.
that's true.
You live in Cheshire or
Yeah.
Somerset.
But then you can live in the same place playing for Liverpool or Man United, really.
Pretty much. That's a curious one, but I don't
It
think
might happen. It's not going to happen this year.
there's a slight difference to do between Liverpool and
I
Man
think you're
United
right.
that you would.
Well, that's true, especially if Coutinho goes. But yeah, you have this real struggle in football at the moment where if you're not at the top now, how do you get yourself there? Like, people like Liverpool are being kind of squeezed
Squeezed out.
the game.
And you've got PSG who are trying their damnedest to get into the top 1%. And I still think they're struggling. There's still a kind of atmosphere about them that aren't quite. They're no winners, no in Europe.
The squad just...
It's not strong enough. You get what I mean? Like,
you look at what they've tried for years and years to do, spending hundreds of millions of euros.
Yeah.
Monaco did essentially for free last year.
Yeah.
And when I say for free, they invested maybe 50 million in that squad over the years. But
talent, youth talent.
You know, it's in talent. It's just hiring the right people. And when you've got a lot of money behind you, you hire a lot of people. But then you're kind of wasteful. You know.
Yeah.
But I guess speaking of that, you know, it looks like, you know, Dundee just announced a new stadium today. Aberdeen with their new stadium. You know, are Aberdeen trying to drive a wedge in between the old firm to kind of make sure?
Well, it's never for them. Rangers are.
But if you look at, you know, Hearts this season, you know, and Hibs record season ticket numbers, is this the time where we start to see a new firm evolving in Scotland?
If you take Celtic out of the equation, yes, I think there's a.
Oh yeah, I think Celtic will always be.
You'll have to kind of look at it.
I'm looking at that wedge in between.
You're looking from between second and fifth,
pretty much,
and there's quite a battle going on between those sides. And it's really interesting because even St Johnstone, the kind of stability they've got.
League leaders, as of yesterday, today, you know, with what happened there.
Would you trust them in the Champions League for us though?
No. I wouldn't trust them in the Irn Bru Challenge Cup, let alone, you know.
I know what I mean. No, it's an interesting kind of thought. Aberdeen building a new stadium in the long run is probably quite a good idea because Pittodrie's costing more money than it is making.
Well, the lights don't even stay on.
That's true.
That was one funny thing I saw. There was a good YouTube video I saw of a guy climbing Pittodrie. Have you seen this?
No,
I've been doing the rounds. I'll show you. One of these, you know, free climbers. It just does, and you see him about to go up the floodlights, and just generators upon generators upon generators, and you're going, oh, for goodness, this is embarrassing. But no, we'll wait and see. Interesting stuff.
Dundee are backed by very rich American owners,
and they're going nowhere.
Yep.
Although a big investment in that squad, they've basically signed every Premiership player that was available ish.
Pretty much.
You know what? 5A, Quinn, McDonald,
Vikings.
Well, that he went to Dundee. Oh, you're talking about Dundee.
Yes.
All right. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Dundee United.
No. Dundee United are a mess, but
Meekings, a few other guys, and then I guess that's where this new stadium's coming from. Then
I was reading that the land that stadium's been built on cost 1.2 million.
I saw they bought the land, and I was like,
it's ready to be done, and it's got more chance going through than Aberdeen's.
Yeah. It said it was near the ice arena, so I'm assuming, you know, when you go like round Dundee, there's like that wee retail park bit.
Yes. I forget the name of it.
There's like that ice rink.
Is it Kingsgate? I think that's called.
Something like that. So is it near there?
Aye, because it's going to be part of the kind of complex with Dundee. Have got an ice hockey team.
Yes.
So it's in that kind of area.
That's in quite a good bit because the big retail park, there's a lot of parking.
Aye, and it's only
It's next to a park, I think, or something.
2 miles away from where it is at the moment. So
smashing.
it's not bad. It's good. It's better than Aberdeen's plan. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes. No park and ride plans in place there. For good darn reasons. So is there anything else in terms of La Liga there, Dan?
Just a couple more games. Levante are playing Villarreal 7:15 on Monday, and then the last game of the weekend is Malaga. Say Malaga.
That's so cringe.
Still love it though. They are playing Eibar at 9 o'clock on Monday, and that will be the Spanish games.
Yeah. So we look forward to hearing more about that next week.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll just leave it there, won't we? Nothing else to talk about.
Predictions?
No, I can't be bothered with them this week.
Is that because you lost?
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go through predictions then. I'm now intrigued because I didn't know that. What were the scores on the doors from last week? How did Darren do? He was sounding funny last week in his predictions.
Aye, were you on the phone?
Of course, Andrew stepping in for Darren last week.
Well, Andrew got 2 results correct. 4 points.
He's rubbish.
You got a correct score in the
Peterhead?
the lower league game. Peterhead 3-0.
Ka-ching!
3-0.
Ka-ching. And then you got, I think it was 2 other correct results. So you go 9 points. I, on the other hand, got the Hibs Rangers score correct.
Ooh.
Jammy.
By sheer miracle.
Otherwise, whether you were looking at all those 3-2 results from year gone by, which I don't think you actually were.
No. It's like, it's going to be a cup final replay. Like. Yes, I got that right. I got another 3 correct results. So that was 11 points in total. My math is correct.
Well done.
So this week, we're going to go for, so they're being played or already have been played.
Right.
Um,
Joe, this is good because our predictions you will get to hear in live time.
just how terrible we are.
Pretty much, unless there's Sunday games you've got here, I don't know.
No, they're all Saturday 3 o'clock.
Right.
So the first one is Rangers versus Hearts.
I'm going to go for 2-0 Rangers.
Right.
Oh, is it at Rangers?
Yep.
Of course it's at
Hearts
Rangers.
Hearts can't play.
They ordered the seats though, I think you were saying in your article, John.
They did die finally.
Ordered the seats, bro.
Yeah, so it must be.
They need the Jamie Walker money now.
I don't think he'll leave. I really don't. John, what's your prediction?
3-2 Rangers. Double or none.
1-1. That's mad, but I have to go a bit left field.
Wow. Next one is Aberdeen versus Fundy.
What you going for, Paul?
2-1 Aberdeen.
It's very conservative.
Yeah, but there's not been firing many goals over the last few weeks, be it against Hamilton or Ross County.
I think that's a good shout, but I'll go for 2-0 to be different.
I'm going for 3-0. Dundee are missing
Aberdeen
half.
win.
Dundee are missing half their squad.
With that Meeking signing though,
Aye.
do they tighten up at the back?
No.
I think they'll get a draw.
Third one is Dunfermline versus Falkirk.
Ooh, John, big derby.
Choose your words carefully. Choose out.
Who knows why it's a derby? They're actually quite far away from each other.
Take your pick.
See, it's a derby game. You could go. I think Falkirk will probably score out of sheer dumb luck.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Dunfermline outscore them. This is another 2-1 for me.
I'll go for 1-1.
I'll go 4-1 Dunfermline.
4-1.
That confident in your team. It's not looking good.
Right, the fourth one is Inverness versus Morton. I think that's quite curious.
Yeah, that should be a close one.
If Inverness get beat, they're really in.
Yeah, but you cannot predict the championship. It's impossible. Completely.
Well,
I'll go for 2-1 more.
2-1's a popular scoreline tonight.
Yes.
Oh, 2-1 Moran.
Yeah, more.
So 1-2.
Yeah.
Is it in Inverness?
It is in Inverness.
Wow. 0-0.
I'll go for 0-2. Morton to win 2-0.
What?
And the last one, random one.
Ooh, Martin!
I didn't think you'd go for more.
I know, Jack Wotongo to score. Last one is Wraith Rovers versus Forfar.
Wraith 3-0.
I'll go for 3-1.
Damn, that's a good one.
2-0.
I think 3-1's a good shout.
2-0 to Wraith.
Darn. So does that round off our predictions?
That's our predictions.
Yeah.
Give us a comment below as to how correct we are.
Yep.
So was it
How wrong we are.
3 points for a correct result?
5
Score?
points. 5 points for a correct score. 2 points for a correct result.
Okay, so you can comment below how many points we got. Or John will comment below with his wonderful new YouTube channel. Meanwhile, check out our social media channels if you want to see some shorter clips of the podcast. You can't have time to watch the full thing. Check out our Facebook page for that. The clips also go up on Instagram, and if John feels like it, on Twitter.
Harsh, I was writing my dissertation.
I gave you the clips. I had already clipped the. Oh, you had to. Anyway, yeah, Instagram at Sofamanager, basically everywhere. And of course, if you're looking for a little bit more, check out Sofamanager.com. Some good previews this week, which are now redundant because the games have happened.
Pretty much.
But nonetheless, so thanks for listening from me, Paul.
Thanks for listening, everyone, from Dalton.
Cheers, guys. All the best.
And don't forget to give us a like if you've enjoyed, and hit subscribe if you haven't already for some weekly Scottish football podcast content. Bye bye. Hi. I was going to say something, I totally forgot.
You gotta say something.
Is that a mind blank there?
Totally blank.
We'll issue a statement later.
Well, I should say that.
He's just thinking how much he loves Simon Murray.
Aye. The ginger god.
That great goal.
I mean, this will be chopped out when I go back through this, but I'm trying to think, was there anything else I was going to say about that game? Or any other games? No, oh well. Stadiums!